personal Bible studies, you ever come across something that's just kind of funny and just makes you laugh? Um, that happened to me today. I'm going through Proverbs 21, and as always, King Solomon, he is hitting us with some truths and really providing some great wisdom throughout, his Proverbs, and, I'm getting a lot from it. And then all of a sudden, he's kind of going through, and then in verse 9, he says, "It's better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife." So it's just kind of made me crack up, like thinking about, first of all, the guy had like 700 wives, but I don't know if you've ever had an argument with your spouse. I'm assuming that you probably have if you're married. If not, tell me how you haven't, and I will pay you millions of dollars that I don't have um, to learn that secret. But uh, he's like kind of going through, he's like, I picture him, writing his proverbs and really like writing these things down. He's working on it in his home study, and then his wife is just getting on his nerves. And so he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go up on the roof and write my proverbs. So he goes up in a corner of his roof, not even like in the main court sitting area where, he's like going off to the corner. He's trying to get as far away from her as possible to just kind of do his thing. And so he's up there, writing, and then he just jumps right back in. So it just kind of reminded me, like, you know what? I'd rather be up here on this roof than dealing with that. And then he just jumps right back into his proverbs, and he's talking about, a mocker's punished, blah, blah, blah. He just goes on, does his thing. And then in verse 19, I feel like he's like writing, he's getting all these things out. He just kind of sits back. And he's like, all right, what's the next one? And he's like, why am I in the corner of this roof? He's like, oh yeah, that quarrelsome wife. So then, I just picture him like kind of angry now. Like I'm sitting I'm the king. And then he's like, you know what? It's better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Almost kind of like, yeah, I want to be up here. And then he goes on and he goes, finishes up with his regular proverbs as his regularly scheduled proverbs. And I don't know, I just find it funny. Do you find it funny? Have you found anything funny like that as well as you're reading through? I'd love to hear about it. So either email it to me or put it in the comments below. Thank you.